Only last year that the leadership of the East African Community allowed the accession of Somalia to become a member state of the East African Community. These are landmark achievements. And all of you seated here, I believe, are either citizens of the larger East African Community or residents of within that territorial group. Meaning, therefore, all of us, in one way or the other, have literally actually paid or contributed either negatively or positively to the challenges that our brothers and sisters in Somalia have been going through. Hosting refugees, the tune of 700,000 is not a mean achievement. Sharing facilities, educational facilities, and therefore, it has been our desire as citizens and as leadership. And this is not driven, as far as rightly put it, this is not driven by imagined biological nationalism. No, it's a reality. We are responsible leaders of the Republic of Kenya who also have communal, I think you know it,
community
interest across both in Ethiopia, Somalia, and the entire region. And therefore, we are duty bound to comment on issues when we realize things are not going on well. We do not want to interfere with the internal affairs of Somalia. We also don't want to interfere with the internal affairs of Ethiopia. But equally, the reason why entities, the making of the nation states, people need to understand the history, why we have the UN. The UN didn't come out of the blue. We used to have, what is it, United Nations? The League of the United Nations, yeah, which gave birth to United Nations. How did they come up? First World War, Second World War. We have the African Union. It used to be called
OAU.
Organization of African. Right now it's called AU. We have IGAD. We have so many other entities. These organizations are products of certain continental, regional, or international phenomena or challenges. And this is why, again, countries that have responsible government, I'll use the word responsible government, have appended their signatures to international treaties. And in particular on diplomatic engagement, there is the Vienna Convention of 1961. So right now we are taken aback. When the people of Somalia are going on, and the region, and in particular I want to commend the leadership of Kenya and the entire East African region for their positive role in the stabilization of Somalia. And you know how difficult it has been. We have lost our soldiers, we have lost our citizens, we have lost opportunities. Right now what the Ethiopian government has done actually is populist. It's populist, it's illegal, it's unconstitutional, it contravenes international law, it's not acceptable, and our appeal is the territorial integrity, the sovereignty of the people of Somalia must be respected. And this is not a request, it's mandatory. As much as Abiy, our friend Abiy, wants to give an opportunity to his desire to have a modern navy, that can only be negotiated. You can negotiate with Eritrea, which has a functioning. You can negotiate with Djibouti. You can negotiate with Kenya, Somalia, but going to a region to negotiate, what has happened to the sovereignty? What has happened to the territorial integrity of Somalia? The assumption there is Somalia as a federal state does not exist. As far as rightly put it, how about tomorrow if the Omanis come back and say the 10-mile coastal strip is theirs? Or if they come back and say Zanzibar is no longer part of
Tanzania.
Tanzania. Or our neighbors Uganda come back here and say anything above Naivasha is theirs. Or the Elemi Triangle. This is why there are rules, international engagement. So we're asking the leadership of IGAD, the leadership of United Nations Security Council, the leadership of African Union,
EAC,
the leadership of the East African Community, to call upon the leadership of Ethiopia, the Federal Republic of Ethiopia led by one Abiy Ahmed, to rescind that decision and respect the leadership, the people, the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the people of Somalia. We are also aware every country has certain challenges. We pray for our brothers in Ethiopia. I know they are going through challenges. They've had the Tigray war. Right now there's serious challenges in Amhara and Oromia. And by the way, for information, the third largest community in Ethiopia are the Somalis. We have the Oromos, Amharas, and the Somalis, and you can quantify the numbers. So our appeal is respect what is there. Let's not contribute to the further disintegration, further destabilization of Somalia and Ethiopia. And we as leaders from this region that borders both Ethiopia and Somalia, we feel duty-bound to appeal to His Excellency the President, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, to urgently convene an IGAD meeting to address this issue before it goes out of hand. We're already grappling with what to do with the Sudan. Okay? You can imagine Kenya has been a peaceful country since independence. We have had refugees from DRC, from all over, from Uganda, from Southern Sudan, from Burundi, from Somalia, from Ethiopia, from Rwanda, literally from everywhere, simply because we enjoy peace. And that's the only definition that confirms being a responsible, functioning state. So our appeal is, Mr. President, wherever you are, just like you are engaged in the Sudan affair, intervene this, convene an urgent IGAD meeting, let this issue be discussed, and Ethiopia be forced to rescind this. Otherwise, this is going to create chaos in the region that is already struggling to stabilize. Asanteni sana.